Hello and welcome to Alice's Wonderland. If you hear a little dog barking in the background, please be patient. That's my Chihuahua named Dia. She's a wonderful little thing, but she loves to bark. Her and the Dotson next door love to bark at each other. The whole month of August, I have to really be careful about hitting my desk. It makes the camera move. The whole month of August, I am going to be featuring the beauty of the earth. The stamp set is gorgeous. The paper's gorgeous. Beauty of Friendship is the stamp set. These are the dies, beautiful tree dies. So I'm going to show you a little bit of the DSP. I cut my 12 by 12 DSP down to 6 by 6 pieces. There's that one. That's the back. Gorgeous for fall, for even spring, winter. They're just wonderful papers. There's that one. You know, I don't, blue wasn't my favorite thing seeing these, but it somehow works in there. That gorgeous sky. And these, oh, just love them. So those are some of the papers. The one paper you didn't really see is the one that we are going to be using today. I've cut up one sheet of my cardstock into 4 by 4 squares. This frame is 6.5 by 6.5. So let me move all of this aside now that you got a little peek at the papers in there. And close up the catalog, set that back in its spot. So I tried this video once already. Let me take my frame apart to get out the actual images. There's my iPod. If y'all caught that, that's my earpiece falling out of my ear there. This is what we created. Now, I have already, like I said, I started this earlier. So what we have, what we're going to be using are, I have all my stuff pre-cut to try to save some time. Excuse that if you see that, me scooting, that's for another project. Here we have our Mary Merlot, which is 5 by 5. So that's that piece. We're going to be using one of those. Here is our DSP, and this is 4 by 4. Set these back. Now, my earpiece lost it again. It's starting to come out. Like I said, I have all my little bits and pieces here. Let's see. So, I want to show you the dies we'll be using, or I did use rather. Okay. We used this die here. I'll need one of these for this image, and I'm going to be showing you how I did that. This little piece is, let's see, oops, 1 3/4 by 7/8, and this piece is from the die, this die, that's this. This is the beautiful tree, and I used early espresso for that. This is some pearlescent paper, and I used this image. It's not the one that you would have thought that matches that die. This one actually goes with a smaller tree in there, but I didn't want this. I didn't want this to be outside the tree line, which this is. So it just gives it a little something in the background. So now that we've seen all our pieces, and these are some brown sequins I had left over from a Halloween felt kit a girlfriend gave me, and I think I finished it last year, and I hang it up. I love it. So we're gonna put all of these supplies to the side. Oops, shot across the room. Don't need that. Set that aside. Putting these aside. And I'll straighten that out. So I wanted to show you how I created the background. So let's move this aside, put that over there. So I had a half a sheet of cardstock like this, and you see, that's what I was doing earlier. We are sponging, and Stampin' Up! No longer sells the sponges, but I keep mine in a container like this. You can get them from an artist store. You can get a sponge from the grocery store. It's up to you. So I need to have, that's my Mary Merlot. That's my yellow. I'm looking for the green one. Blue. That's the green one. And I had one more color, Cajun Craze. And that looks like it. So what I did, in fact, I'm looking for my little die cutting machine. Not die cutting machine. My little guillotine cutter. Oh, cleaning up is such a wonderful thing when you cannot find what you're looking for. Very interesting. Oh well. Okay, let's move on. So what I did is I started with Mossy Meadow. Here. And I just started pouncing. Just adding some color down here. Some places I wanted a little darker and I pushed a little harder. So that's all I did there. Then I came in with Bumblebee. That's also one of the colors that coordinate with the papers, the DSP paper. So, and now I start putting the yellow on. I was pressing a little too hard there, in places where there might be some light. And set that one aside because I'm gonna use these again on the image. This one's Cajun Craze. Oops, sorry. Trying not to shake the camera. Okay. Now I'm going to come in with Mary Merlot. Very stiff pad my Mary Merlot is. I'm going to stamp off a little bit. Now I'm going to come in here and just go over the whole thing. Okay. Next, what I did is I used, once again, this die cut. Excuse me, my earpiece keeps falling out. To die cut that out, and that gave us, take this away or just turn this over. That gave us this image. Now, I did like it a little darker, so putting this over here, I came back in with my Mossy Meadow a little bit, and I didn't necessarily re-ink them after stamping. I just, where I saw that coloring, I just added a little more. Cajun Craze. And I really like just going over it once again. So I can close up all my pads. I wasn't sure if I was going to need. Let me finish the sentence. If I was going to need to re-ink the sponges or not, but I didn't. And every time I close these, you will see I get ink on my fingers, always. But what's stamping if you don't get ink on yourself? At least for me, that's how it is. So all of those we no longer need. However, we do need to bring in stays on. Because on this little piece of vellum, and move this out of the way or turn it over, I am going to be using the saying, I believe in you. So let me get a little block. Yes, and I know it's stays on, but if you wash it off real quickly, in fact, I am gonna move this so that I can bring this down and really see to line it up. Trying to be careful not to smear it. Well, I don't like that one, so let's get another piece. And I know why I didn't like it. I have a little piece of fun foam. I do have the Stampin' Up Pierce mat, but it's on another work surface right now. I'm gonna bring this down again to the edge. If you're wondering why I have a blue piece of tape here, it tells me where to keep my stamping so I'm in camera view. And that makes a big difference, having the piercing mat or fun foam on there. And I'm just bringing in my very old Stampin' Scrub and scrubbing that off so the stays on doesn't stay on it too bad. I'll clean it again some more when I get done. Look at me, ink everywhere. So the next thing we are going to do is, well, earlier, I can show you how we layered all this up. So we have our 5x5 square of Mary Merlot, our 4x4 DSP, and I used the tree die, that one there, to cut out this gorgeous tree in early espresso. And like I said, I'm using a little piece of pearlescent paper, and I use the smaller tree to cut that one out because I don't want it outside of the tree line. See that? It's well enough underneath it. It's just gonna, just gives it a little extra something, and that's where we're gonna go with that. It's not very difficult at all. The gorgeous paper Stampin' Up does so well. So first thing we're gonna do is glue our DSP down to the Mary Merlot, and for this I'm gonna be using some glue. I really want the corners, I don't want it lifting up, and then I like to draw X, dot, dot, dot. And set that aside. I can lift it up without getting glue on me. Okay. Just eyeballing it, I'm not measuring or anything, just there. That looks really good to me. Now the next thing we're going to do is, oh, this one, and I used tear and tape for this just because the type of paper it is, kind of like vellum. Well, as far as using tear and tape, I just stuck a piece of tear and tape right down the middle, score tape, whatever you'd like to call it. Now some people like to pull it up from the edges, but it works great from the middle for me. I do it all different directions, but so I'm gonna bring this back over. I don't have any nails. Okay, deciding where I want my tree. Now I liked the tree being off the paper just a bit, and I think this one I'm going to make it a little bit more off on purpose. So what I'm going to do is bring this in underneath my tree, kind of. I want the tree about there. So I'm going to stick that down. And you can still see through it. And next we're going to glue our tree down. Now for that, I'm using my IV. I call it my IV bottle because the tip of it's metal and it reminds me of an IV needle because it's hollow and stuff. But I love this because it's like the fine tip glue applicator we have, except that glue is real liquidy and it tends to go places. And when I filled this little bottle up with just regular old, glue, it's thicker and it does not get everywhere. So here we go. And I like that I can get, even in the smallest little areas, you could use the sponge and silicone mat method where you put some Tombow on a silicone mat, use a sponge and dab it all over, but I don't need to, not with this. And any glue that gets on this glass mat comes right off. I will show you the cloth I use and a little, glass cleaner I keep down to the right of me for just such occasions. And yeah, this might take a little bit more time, but it's worth it. I mean, don't need to hurry. Crafting is fun. So, next I'm looking for my tweezers, my reverse tweezers, that is. And I put those up too, and now I can't find them. Anybody see them in there? Found them. Apparently I pulled them out. Okay, so now that I have the reverse tweezers, I can maneuver this, pick the ends up. I want that tree, like I said, I want it down there some. I don't know why I like it. Some things like that might bother me at a different time, but not today. I really liked that. Now we're going to do the same thing with this. This is what I should have done in the first place with my tree image, because it does make it easier to grip it first with the reverse tweezers. And I am, my grandson and hubby are home from fishing. That means my grandson or husband will be coming in here, so we're gonna get this finished. I said, don't worry, right? Relax, take it easy, enjoy it. I do enjoy it, but while I'm recording a video, oh, that is not always so. I had to search for my earbuds to make this video today. I tried it without it. It did not work. And could have sworn I had them in my room, but lo and behold, they were actually in my bed. So I am going to bring that up there. It's perfectly where I want it. Okay, now I have that little piece of Mary Merlot, which, let's see again, it's 1 3/4, and it is just, it's like 7/8. Let's see. It's like the 1 mark before the 1. And this I am going to use glue dots. And for the glue dots, I like to use a pen. Sewing straight pen. I don't know why, but it works really well. So I'm going to put one in this corner. And I'm going to lift off another one and put it in this corner, and that's gonna hold that down for me. And yes, you're gonna see that, but we're gonna cover that up with some sequins I had in my stash. Now we're gonna glue this piece onto our paper. And actually, I'm gonna show you something I do quite a bit. Like this isn't a frame, it's gonna be in a frame, so dimensional really is not a good thing. But if I just want something popped up a little, I cut old scraps. I will show you my scrap container. This is where I keep all my scrap pieces that I might use. The noise is coming, I am prepared. So I'm gonna cut a couple of these. I still can't find my little guillotine cutter. I have no idea where it went to. So I'm gonna cut probably 3 little strips of this. I just want it lifted up a little bit. Tia's gonna go see who it is, even though she should know by the voices. I think she just likes to bark. And they don't have to be straight, they're gonna be behind this thing for there. I just want a little lift, so you'll see. So I'm just gonna give this quick scribble. Uh-oh. Somebody locked her out of the house because I had the house door open. A little bit more. So, there we go. Now, I'm going to add this to the back of my sentiment. And it is going to give me a little lift, but not as thick as a dimensional would. See that? Okay, so let's glue this down. And I want it right there. And then, my little baggy stuff. I even have little sequins I already picked out of my container. They flew everywhere. Get up there. And I'm gonna put some glue dots to stick these down with. Let's see. I'm gonna stick one on top of there, one on top of that one. I am going to put another one, I think, right there. I'm gonna put one here. Come on, stay down. You're working great for me. And until then, and I'm gonna stick one right there. Now, I really should get my take your pick tool out. But we're just gonna pop these on top of those glue dots. And like I said, these are things that I just had left over from a project, and like many crafty people, I keep things. So there's our project. Next, we're gonna stick it in the frame. And there we go. I kept the glass out this time so that you could maybe get a better view of it. I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, give me a like, maybe tell your friend, and hope you come back and see me again in Alice's Wonderland. That's me. Have a great day. Bye.